best to look potential enemy in eye first.
All right. When's the party?
That is a good question. When is the party, Luke?
The party's not till Friday night.
That gives us a few days. Friday.
No classes the next day.
Mm-hmm.
There are no classes, or there are classes? I didn't hear you.
No
classes the next
No
day.
classes, yeah. Like, yep. And the only other real problem is, at least for some of you, we're gonna need. No, wait, they still have outfits. Who has their outfits left over from the last time I bought you fancy clothing?
I don't think I would have done anything with mine.
Sigrid destroyed hers, so we have to get her a new one. Victor's gonna be pissed. Yeah, I think I bought it for everyone. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Never mind. Got inns.
Sounds like a date. Should be fun.
Would there be anyone there who we might know? Who we might not want knowing we're there? One of your surf friends, perhaps?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of important people there.
Like, this is usually founding founding families there. Enterprisers, one man's probably going to be there.
So these the party of the island kings.
Kinda. It's like the court.
Great. Rich people party.
And she's going to look over at you and go, and you better not go a Viking or anything. They're sacred.
What? It's that.
Good. She just kind of like gives you a smile and a wink.
Can see lots of Christian women with gold and jewels.
She's mostly proud that she learned the term "go a Viking."
Which more commonly meant to go trading.
I'll trade your head for what's on it.
And you know, I know that as a player, but Lily does not know that.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan. If you guys have like 5 minutes, I wanted to show you guys something.
What that?
If you guys are up for taking a 3-minute drive. You guys are aware that the other place is like 3 minutes away. If not, she gives the correct amount of time for that.
The pharmacy.
Which other place?
She's suggesting going to the pharmacy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Laura, we'll be back. I'll be back later.
I wave at her, I give her a kiss, and I tend her wounds before we go.
Uh-huh.
You what?
Tend her wounds, like put a little patch of first aid, the little, I don't know how you call them, band-aids?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
think she's just a weird girl and damages herself on the regular.
Yeah, she's beat up from cleaning too violently. If that doesn't sound realistic, take a look at my wife on a daily basis. I don't know how it happens.
Yes, the pharmacy.
Yep.
Some kind of
So at the pharmacy, Violet, there's a cloth on the table over something, and she goes over and pulls it off, and there's a briefcase. I got a bug scanner.
Oh. You got a what?
Bug scanner.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I suggest everyone uses it. I found a
mean,
lot.
My costume is here, so have at it.
So She points to the left hand. She opens it, and there's a whole bunch of crazy buttons and stuff like that. She goes, "So all those buttons make it work? I don't really know how they work though. That button is the one you press to put it into like auto drive, and then it beeps if there's a bug nearby. So
All right.
if you don't know how to use this stuff, like I don't know how to use this stuff, just press this button."
I'll look over at Gee and go, Gee,
Uh,
smile.
I believe this would
Connex
be.
Operation Security.
Yes, I believe so. Either that or electronic warfare.
Yeah, the standard one's crazy, but it should be security.
You probably get a bonus for actually using the scanner, but yeah.
Would computing work on this one, or is
The scanner does give a bonus, yes,
Okay.
but it's electronic operations. It's not computers.
Okay, so it will indeed start beeping violently. And you will find that all the suits that you've got here are indeed bugged.
Well, it's not really surprising, but it's nice to have confirmation.
You managed to narrow it down to be in the collar region of most of the suits, but you can't. Oh, give me perception. Straight up, or search, in fact, if you've got it.
It'd be crazy not to have search. Okay, there it is.
Wow, look at that success. Yeah, it takes ages. You're running your fingers around the collar of one of these suits for about 10 minutes, and then finally you find this tiny, smaller than a grain of rice bastard that you isolate as being the bug.
On all the suits?
Uh,
Or just the
well,
one?
It's pretty impressive tech.
it is indeed on all the suits.
Mhm.
Okay, Garth, let's call that a C+, and I'll drop it on the ground and stomp on it.
Don't get rid
Hey.
of all of them. There are ways to communicate with God.
Yeah, we can use
Put
it
him
to
in a
throw them off.
soundproof box?
Oh, actually, as long as we're talking about soundproof boxes, I'll walk over to what used to be the bathroom and open the door. This is now
there's nice.
a dark room for Lily, so it's got, everything that you would need to expose your, or develop is the word. Develop your own pictures.
I can have pictures without worrying my moms will come and find them.
We're just going to gloss right over the possibilities of that statement and move on to the fact that be careful
You
because
mentioned exposing.
be careful because there is a giant eye bolt that's sunk into the concrete in the middle of the floor, and it's also completely soundproof, or at least functionally soundproof.
Where's the toilet?
Stereo.
Sacrifices needed to be made.
There's a public toilet like about 150 meters away down the street.
Or my house, because I can just go there.
This was a bucket.
But
Myas,
yeah,
what are you talking
alright,
about?
a boombox will be purchased. If I'm doing dark room
yeah,
stuff,
okay.
I'm gonna be in there.
Yeah.
Surely you don't even need to purchase a boombox. You've probably got like a wardrobe full of them.
Oh, probably.
So the last of my toys were actual bugs also. Well, not bugs, homing beacons, but
Ooh.
there was a guy in the back of a Radio Shack van that had the briefcase, and he had these too. And she pulls out a punch bowl, and it's got a bunch of little like RFID tags in it.
Nice. We can use those.
They're
I
pretty
don't know what for yet.
tiny also, I believe.
They're size modifier -11.
Ooh,
Lily will
nice.
grab a few and shove them in her purse.
I have not got a single PDF open. What a scumbag. I'm working on it. Ignore me.
So they're now in her purse. She can. Oh, hey, Luke, I have forgot to ask this. This might be a little super off topic. I'm still wearing that ankle monitor, right? Secret Surf didn't get that off of me.
You are, but
Okay.
there is a lot more news than just this party I wanted to talk about. But you all got real excited
awesome.
about this party, so I wanted to be quiet for a while.
No, let's hear
Yeah.
more news though.
Negative 11 is 1 inch in diameter.
All right, so they're like quarter sized.
So good for
What's,
like
what's
cars and stuff.
negative 12 though?
2/3 of an inch.
Because they'll be between that then.
So 3/4. 5/8.
They could be
Under
anywhere
an inch.
between those.
Garth's bugs are better. I accept that.
Your bugs are shit, pal.
Garth doesn't buy his out of the back of a Radio Shack van.
It's a very reputable man.
But what's the other news, Luke?
So much. Where to start? So,
Start some.
Nirvana did not immediately respond to the Americans' claim. They did announce that they had investigated a location where a ship's transponder had failed, and they found some wreckage but no evidence of a ship. That ship had been in Nirvana port and nothing untoward had been found on it, but that they deny any involvement in the sinking of the ship whatsoever. On the same day, shortly after that press statement by, I don't know, someone, there was another press statement internally for the citizens of Nirvana to state that there would be a debate held at Parliament in the week that's just passed. So this debate has happened, and you've got the news of that also, to discuss ongoing matters of national security. People are encouraged to petition their local PEPs, just to give their thoughts on matters. And the basic agenda that got given a couple of days before this debate was whether vigilantism is actually something that should be punished, or whether it's something that should be institutionalized.
Nice.
They
Oh, I'm super calling my person.
yeah,
Like-
right.
Like I was once arrested for bringing a guy to an ambulance.
They announced that in line with current regulations, they're increasing a push on surf applications. They already expanded some surf powers, but they're looking to expand them even further. And there's potentially looking at setting up a special branch of surf, which would deal with matters of national security. But they want to know what people think about this.
Probably gonna have some stupid name.
Mm-hmm.
Or just call it Secret Surf.
But it wouldn't be secret anymore. You'd have to call it Second Surf.
No. You have to call it SEF, otherwise people are gonna get suspicious. Sorry,
But yes,
SERF.
Lily will petition her person and also maybe get her contact and see if they can't text for a bit on the non-drop phone to see what the hell's going on deeper in. Can I do that?
Get a contact.
That contact, the
Oh,
the
you want
counselor.
to try and talk to Marcella Vitalis?
Yeah, just text her on the non-drop phone and see what's actually going on.
Hi, I am your constituent. We've never met before. I have a question about this thing.
She's not a constituent. She'd be very
Yeah, we
difficult
have
to
met
get in
before.
touch with by normal channels, probably. She's a busy person,
Okay,
especially in the...
Then I will text on the special phone and say, hey, if you ever have a chance, do we know what's going on that front, since it's kind of important?
She would not get a chance before the debate occurred.
I mean, after the debate.
Oh, she'll probably have it, yeah.
Inside ear. Basically, I just want to know if there's something that they weren't saying, in public.
protests erupt on both sides on that same evening, with groups confronting each other outside Parliament. There's a group in favour of like wide-reaching vigilante powers, and also proposals by some peps to invest in a complex prison facility. On the other side, people are saying that there's been a spike in murders, that people have died in the past month from perceived vigilante behaviour, and that it goes against the founding ethos of Nirvana. Surf had to be called in, and around like 72 people ended up getting
Disappeared?
brains turned off momentarily.
So, tased?
More like Audrey'd, but not by Audrey.
Okay.
Pacified, non-painfully, but this in turn raised a lot of concerns.
Audrey is super uncomfortable after that happens.
The protest returns the next day in wider swing, and more specifically against vigilanteism. There's a lot of talk about it at university. People will ask you your opinions on these things.
If people ask Lily, she's just gonna like furrow her brow and just go, "What do you think?" Like, what do you think I think?
And finally, at the same time, leading up to this debate, there was a reported increase in the appearance of people in costumes, masks, and outfits, purporting that they were looking for anyone who needed help.
Where?
In various locations, but somewhere where one person was actually interviewed on the news. He calls himself... I forgot what he calls himself. He's very shiny. Oh, it's because I've got cloth written in there.
You have
NPC.
what written in?
He calls himself Reflection.
I wonder why.
And
I like that banana hammock.
Lily's not a fan.
Lucius would not like the whole situation, but he also will find it incredibly suspicious. Anywhere I can dig more information about all this, like what is Surf doing, or, well, as part of a family member that also works on Surf, anything that he can like know by ear.
Nothing concrete in those first couple of days before the debate.
Okay.
All
Sounds like something
speculation.
happens at the debate.
It does indeed, and I'm busting. I know we've not been going a full hour, but let's have a really quick break and be back in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We are back. Quick break. So, watching the news. I'm not even going to recap. The debate is held. Go on, Lilo.
Yeah, no, the debate.
The debate is held. All members of the Politburo elected committee are there, all 48 of them, or whatever I said they were. Including a bunch of other government bastards. And it gets decided that there will be a citizen referendum on how to move forward. There are several strong proposals that people of the island are going to be given the choice over. One of them is to actually encourage superhero work, air quotes, in the American method but on a voluntary basis rather than enforced. And to be remunerated if it so calls for it, you know? You dig in it. You know what I'm saying, though, don't you? That would also entail anyone who wants to do, quote, superhero work, registering with an island-wide registry of everyone who intends to prevent crime and generally act as an independent surf member. It would be encouraged, but they would have to register, receive training, and be licensed. Another option is to just continue with the present course, which isn't very popular.
I mean, I don't want to register.
I'm guessing not, surely. Another option that they're going to put forward is to create, for all purposes, army, but of metahumans. Again, voluntary. And I looking to defend Nirvana, there's less support for that.
Yeah.
But
Anything that could remotely be conscription would be, well,
Well-
not liking.
It would be volunteer.
Hmm.
But volunteer armies do eventually kind of tend to lean that way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can either go to jail.
And there are proposals for whether or not a proper detention facility should be invested in for people that show no signs of potential rehabilitation. Somewhere where they can be sequestered away from others for the safety of the general public.
Oh yes, superpower people in one building. What could go wrong?
Have there been any instances of like relapses or people committing crimes, serving their community service or whatever sentence, and then recidivism? That's the word I'm looking for.
There has been demonstrable recidivism amongst some individuals. There is something that's been rising that I've not mentioned before now, but that has definitely been in the news in the past week.
The bread?
The bread.
The dough.
The bread. I'm completely
It's
lost.
Surprising.
Just
The
keep
bird
going.
rises.
And that is just crime in general. Lol. But meta-perpetrated crime. There have been robberies. There have been straight-up beatings. There's been lots of instances of humans being attacked by meta-humans that have received a lot of news coverage this week. There were an old man that got beat up in the park by a group of meta-human youths. It was initially suspected to be a suicide. Someone fell off a building in the central business district, but then it turned out that they'd been heavily beaten before they actually landed. That kind of catches us up to today, this Sunday afternoon, the day before the referendum. It's as soon as tomorrow.
Oh, really? Holy shit.
Wow.
They want to move
And when's
fast.
the party?
They want to potentially move fast on these things. Party's not till Friday.
Okay.
Should we call our pseudo boss? Like, all we can do is vote, but it'd be nice to have info on that.
Additionally,
don't-
there was one final thing that got brought up at the debate. and that is Nirvana does believe that the Americans intended harm with their research vessel, but that an accident caused it to sink before they could do any harm.
There we go.
But they wanted to gauge
Some accident.
public interest in the response to America that Nirvana will give. And generally it seems like some high-level Americans might get sanctioned, including some Hearst, maybe.
Shush. We had nothing to do with any of this bullshit.
And Lily, you saw the dead guy on the car this morning.
The what guy in the car?
The one who fell off the building. You might not
Oh.
remember. Post-credit
Yeah, I
scene at
remember
end of
from
last
last
session.
week. I do.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing I would have people watching from that build with some eyes on that building, legitimately on the building.
The owls are always watching.
An owl would probably tell you, yeah. I saw two scaly guys throw him off the roof.
I will note that. I'm not sharing it right away because I don't know if it's useful information for everyone to have, but it is noted.
I'm assuming to some degree we have been like fighting this crime that's been rising as well, like off-screen minor crime fighting, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Violet, you've been hanging around a lot of shady places recently. In fact, there was one evening, the evening after you got the bugs, there was something else you were meant to be picking up, but it turned out to be a bit of a shakedown. I'm sure you managed to get out of it fine, else you wouldn't be here.
But it's dicey out there.
Yeah. You detected mines that shouldn't have been there, and you decided to slip out, and then people showed up in that room ready to beat down on someone looking to buy some stuff.
Fair. And also probably warranted, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
If we're doing superhero-y stuff, Lily's actually on rescue operations, getting people to hospitals quicker and leaving them like on the front door.
Like officially?
No. Or actually, maybe.
Like she could be an EMT.
Yeah, you'd have to join Surf if you wanted to do that.
Well, no, what I mean is community. Oh, I couldn't do community service stuff. No, then it's just Goodwill droppings off out of sight.
Your current community service is beach cleaning. A lot of plastic garbage washes up on Nirvana beaches.
I thought I was doing owl bird sanctuary.
Oh, you did manage to wrangle that, yeah.
Which is super easy.
Yeah, it is. Damn.
I mean, if you want to throw me on also beach cleanup, that's fine.
I think he is going to spend some time on like vigilante watch, where when these costume people do show up, he's just keeping an eye on them, kind of from the shadows or stealthily, making sure they're actually what they say they are, and that it's not some American plot to destabilize Nirvana.
There was a lot of upset at the debate when someone used the term American style, despite the PEP having extensive meetings where they decided that they should not use any term relating to American for propaganda purposes, but then someone failed and he is definitely like getting shit tore out of him backstage. Like, you idiot, Leonard.
Yeah, fuck Leonard.
Leonard's a good name for that.
I was thinking about making Leonard the what is it, the foreign secretary.
Nice.
Leonard gave the announcement. He was all like, no, we saw that ship sink. Yeah, it looked like an accident to us. We weren't involved at all. But then I realized.
Nevertheless, we should invade Vietnam.
Not a lot of Americans are going to realize what you're talking about.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sharp. Matthias, I was about to get to you. You've been invited to a couple of protests this week from people who live on the same floor as you in the university accommodations.
Protests.
Against the idea of building a large prison complex offshore from Nirvana to house metahumans.
Yeah, that sounds all right. Yeah, the protest of it.
Yeah. You go and, like, scream for a bit, I imagine. Everyone's chanting. Feels good. No chanting for Matthias.
No, he'd rather actually go out and stop petty crime.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you would notice petty crime going on at the protest.
Not at the protest.
Ah.
I think he said that's a good
Like, in
cause, and
general.
then didn't go.
I see. But
As in, he went elsewhere and did what the other people had started doing as well.
I get you. General, keeping an eye out for people in need of help.
Yep.
Cool.
In presumably a much higher quality costume than the rest of them. Because this one was specially made by very skilled tailors and it was worth a lot of money.
He means the ones on the street, not us.
Aha. Yes. Correct. Oh, so you legit just walk around, like, out in the open. I get you. I'm finally catching up. People would want to talk to you. Like, hey, you're a bit early. Like, they haven't even held the vote yet. I think what you're doing's illegal, Ultraman. They'd go for
Is
anyone.
it wrong because of that? Or are you just saying it's illegal?
Like, just saying it's illegal. So do you, like, stop crimes?
Used to.
Well, like, I hear it's really rough in, like, this area. Mentions an area.
Heads to where the Valley Girl said.
It is an area, and it is indeed rough. It seems like there's a lot of just dingy bars around. There are a few licensed sex work shops in this area as well, and it's definitely attracted some seedy clientele. And you would notice a fight break out at some point.
Yeah, he'll stop an abusive John.
Cool. You save a John from the metahuman sex
No.
worker that's beating the shit out of him for looking at them funny.
That's the opposite of what I was expecting. But yeah.
The point is that you're a hero.
So this one guy, he's just like, "Oh, thank you. I was just drunk and I was walking past and I asked for directions and they went berserk."
Berserk?
Berserk. And then
He'll quickly leave once that's all dealt with.
Yeah, I'm happy to catch back up now. It's the day before the
Catch
vote.
back up. Okay.
To Sunday.
Wait, really confused now. I thought the vote was the Monday and it was Sunday.
The vote is tomorrow. The debate and all that happened last week, but the referendum on what's actually going to happen is Monday the 8th.
So the only two voting things are either keep it the same or military or everyone is free to do it if they register.
No, there's
Those are the only three options?
It's deeper than that. There are a lot more options. They put in a lot of things up to public vote just to gauge opinion more than anything else.
The prison was like a separate referendum.
So it's not a referendum.
No, it's not really. A referendum is a bad choice of word for it. It is more a questionnaire. You have to fill out a lot of questionnaires as a citizen of Nirvana anyway. There's a yearly census that drives...
The term you're looking for is plebiscite.
Plebiscite?
Plebiscite is like a referendum, but it's not binding in any way. So if the plebiscite doesn't go how you want, you can say fuck it.
Cool.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Boris?
It's not even like that, because it kind of will be binding, but it's more just a series of questions to gauge public opinion on these things, and then the elected policymakers will come up with policy.
Well, I'll fill it out, and I'll help Red fill it out. Because I assume you're still not super good at written English.
You would assume correct.
And some of the questions are: do you think that a prison should be built to house violent and repeat offenders?
No.
Does Nirvana already have a prison system?
There is methods of detaining people, but there's nothing on a large scale.
Okay, it's worth elaborating on the difference when things come up, because the default assumption will be that Nirvana is like the West. So there is currently no way of just legally putting someone somewhere for years.
So what do we do with like murderers?
Deport them. Banishment.
Someone else's problem.
All right.
It's probably also like halfway home programs for, if not non-violent, then at least like non-major offenders. I would imagine, like where they live under a code for a while and have to perform community service and go to classes and things.
There are countries in South America that accept stateless deportees of Nirvana and incarcerate them. Pretty much Nirvana deports them to be put in a prison in a third country.
That sounds like us.
But
Anyway.
I think the codes probably state that Nirvana can't incarcerate any of its citizens for longer than just a few months. But they do have methods of quickly revoking citizenship from someone and sending them to Argentina.
So the jail system is outsourced.
Outsourced, yeah. But it's also very rare still. There have been very few instances that it's ever been used. But with the rise in violent crime, it seems like there are more and more instances where this does need to be used. Full stop.
Well, I don't think we're going to have a huge effect on it, considering millions of people live on
Nope.
this island.
Yeah.
So probably just tell us how that goes, unless something crazy is happening.
All right. Let's move forward
Unless...
to Monday afternoon and vigilanteism is, in fact, no. Sorry, I'm retconning a few things.
Okay.
Because I've had the date wrong all this time, partially. Because it's Saturday. The stupid calendar confused me. It still says Sunday. Did I change the date? Aha! No, it is Sunday the 7th. Yes, we're good. But the questionnaire was on Friday. The results are being published right now.
Okay.
Cool.
That feels better to me.
Could we head back to that that page for a moment?
Yeah. Anywhere you want to be?
Just useful for talking about Nirvana as a whole.
It is indeed.
That's fair.
I'm dumb. Mind blanking.
So Lily,
Yeah.
is my uncle gonna get kicked out?
I mean, probably.
I mean, yeah, but like, have you heard anything specific?
Have I?
No, but less specific. One of the questions is what should happen to American enterprises working in the free economic zone.
Yeah, it's not. Outlook doesn't look.
Sounds like we're gonna find out shortly.
Public support for a regulated American-style, air quotes, system of citizen superheroes is quite high. It seems like they are definitely going to move to open a new department of government that will be in charge of regulating this. And as soon as the next 2 weeks, they will open registrations for people to go and undergo more rigorous testing and training.
Oh, as soon as that happens, I'm gonna make a phone call. But what else happens?
In regards to Americans in the free economic zone, it's expulsion.
Overwhelming or even remotely close? I expect overwhelming.
Overwhelming, not even remotely close. A good
American PR has been poor the last month.
yeah. And it's more that business deal is going to fall through now for certain. Other American firms are going to have to leave. The American embassy already left. I think they probably packed up the doors yesterday and all left.
I'm gonna make
Nirvana.
another phone call soon. I have 2 phone calls I need to make after this.
Oh my god. The prison is a no. We're going to carry on with the tried and true system of send them to Argentina. When
Can't
necessary.
blame them.
Everybody else does.
When it's not possible to send them back to their own countries that we're friendly with. Anything else? Anything else? In terms of national defense, it seems like people would like that to be part of the registered citizen superhero program.
Like, it's super trained, high level kind of shit, I assume.
Yeah. They intend to rank the abilities of proposed vigilantes, such as to enable them to respond to appropriate threats, and to make sure that people who are capable of rescuing cats from trees aren't sent to stop a nuclear missile.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa, yeah.
So as though Nirvana had already had this vigilante thing and they were trying to defund it, in a sense. Hashtag.
Hashtag
Nice.
defund the vigilante system.
I like that I didn't get that at all until you said hashtag. That made sense.
Is that it?
Is it based purely on like the power level? Like, is everybody either a class A, B, C, or D, or is it also their training?
I
I
think
imagine control and training plays an effect.
I think training will be mandatory, regardless. and they're
Okay,
probably
so
gonna
like everybody goes through the same training course,
yeah.
but it's their power level when they graduate that determines their response level.
Not so much. More like rigorous testing on an individual level for every applicant, and the higher the power
Like-
level seems, the further this rigorous testing goes.
Like a combination of like skill, power, and then raw talent,
Uh-huh.
right?
They consider everything, and it's probably a fluid ranking based on observable things.
So how granular is the rating system?
Whew.
Are we using the rating
What?
system I wrote up before for my comic?
Probably, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, I can explain it in excruciating detail, but I won't.
Very
The,
granular
the,
is the answer.
referendum was just counted. They're still working things out.
That's fair.
And the
How about
intention.
Secret Surf?
Secret Surf
Did
was not
Morrison
mentioned.
said anything, or
Mawson didn't even speak at the debate. So no, he's not been in touch with you guys either yet.
He was one of my first. He was one of my 2 phone calls. So.
He's probably going to come and get in touch with you. In fact, him and Garth are probably going to show up shortly.
At our secret place.
The pharmacy where you destroyed the bugs, where you all are now? Why not?
Damn,
As we're destroying them.
As you're destroying them, yeah.
We're putting him in a closet. I think we're putting him in a box in the soundproof room.
Well, honestly, like, I'm less disconcerted because, obviously Garth knew where it was. What's got me worried is that those two are coming together.
Together, yeah.
I mean, use an Uber share.
Just like, oh hey, we're going to the same place. Fancy that.
They're both going from right downtown of the government district to where we're at.
Yep. Yep. There's only one bus that comes this way.
More like they were on the same train. But yeah.
Huh. I've driven a few people here before. You also got like lice problems? Need something from the pharmacy?
Free Lauser, back of seat. That were racist.
But
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Do we want to go back into the other map and have our conversation with them then?
Yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, why not? I mean, that
Why not?
sounds weird, sarcastic.
Yeah,
Knock at
Gotta
the
be
door.
like that.
Or more like it's a bell, because this is a commercially building. Buzzer.
It's both Garth and Morrison, I say, as I'm putting the bugs in the soundproof room.
Hide what you need to. All of them in.
For God's sake, slippery tobacco bag.
Audrey takes like 15 seconds to answer the door.
What do I need to hide?
Oh my God! Seriously?
At this point, I don't even care. They both know all of the secrets.
Where the hell is Mawson?
I don't know.
If
Where
didn't-
is Morrison?
If you didn't have a token.
Should be in your uploads, right?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm checking my uploads.
Why is Morrison?
Who's Morrison?
Wherefore is Morrison?
Mind own business.
Out thou, Morrison.
Mawson.
Whence is Morrison?
I don't think I've ever turned Mawson into a token.
I haven't seen him on a map.
I think you did make like a Hero Forge character, but that's about it.
Yeah, he's got the character, but I don't think I ever tokened him.
Takes
Dumb.
like a minute.
Yeah, it does. I'll be getting on that in the background. He's here with Garth. You let him in.
Mm-hmm.
Watching
Two
the
of you
news, I
together,
see.
that must be good news.
He points over at the TV that's playing the news that's explaining these results to you now.
Yes, it's a TV. Good job.
It's what's on it, idiot.
Are we going to be the first class?
That depends. Do you think you'll sign up?
Does it get this fucking thing off my ankle?
Well, that's going to be coming off anyway. Congratulations.
They just legalized what you did. There's no way they're gonna keep charging you.
Coughs in Americans and Canadians in prison for marijuana.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
forget. Oh, wait, it's not legal in the UK yet. Never mind. Yeah, they're not just going to start letting them out here when it's not legalized yet. Duh.
To be obvious, I'm probably gonna have to, considering there's 8 teleporters on the. Is it 8? How many are on the island, Luke?
8. Yeah.
8 teleporters on the damn island. I'm gonna be obvious as shit.
I'd rather not.
I'm in
Garth
provisionally.
nods approvingly.
It kind of seems like
Yeah,
just more
my-
government surveillance.
My question to you, Garth, is would it not be more useful to keep a team or 2 off the books? Oh my god, he's huge!
Obviously.
I think everybody turns and looks at Sigrid, not because she had a good idea, but because she properly used an idiom.
What? I watch Dot's TV.
Yes, she does.
It's amazing.
Then you regenerate so it doesn't rot your brain.
What brain rot?
Anyway, Garth, do you have an answer to that question?
Aye. Team off books. It's happening.
I feel like in many ways we can achieve much more without everybody looking over our shoulder. Though it seems you do a lot of looking over our shoulder, Garth.
She
No,
shakes the box of bugs, lighting them.
He rolls his eyes. There he is. Associate that with his sheet real quick. Well, no, this is Garth's voice. Garth's a southern gentleman.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Mentalgen?
Mentalgen? We just wanted to gauge your thoughts on it.
Like, I mean, I'm totally cool with being under the radar, but I just don't know how much I can be under the radar.
Right. Our thoughts are that you're going to get spotted at some point. People are going to take an interest in you if you're doing your job well. Going to be a hell of a lot easier to explain if you're registered.
Or at least if there's a figurehead that can be seen.
I think best would be if some of you register, some of you don't.
Like maybe Skelly Boy over there?
Yeah, he needs to register.
Yeah, sorry to say, Mice, but if you don't go hero, you're going Argentina.
Oh, that sounds so wrong, but at the same time, so funny.
You know what happened last guy that tried to put a leash around my neck?
Yeah, well, we'll use a bigger leash next time. I don't know.
Oh,
You're gonna save
I
the
mean,
world,
it would-
Mias. I'm convinced of that still.
It would be different if you wore a costume.
What he's gonna wear? Skin?
Literally the same thing as everyone else. A mask.
No,
Clothes.
but no. What is he gonna wear that they're not gonna know? He's the only living skeleton on the island.
A padded costume or a
Clothes.
framed costume with a helmet.
Biker, maybe.
Yeah.
Can he wear Big D as skin?
Oh,
Ugh.
You need to turn him in, by the way.
What the hell
That's
is
a problem.
Big D?
Oh, it's just slang that the kids are using. Anyway,
I've been watching you
I
boys.
don't-
I know what a Big D is.
I'm sure you do. I do think that it wouldn't hurt to have most or all of us go through the same training regimen as any potential recruit. There's some I think important skills there that not everybody in the group might have. He says pointedly, not looking at anybody.
Lucius looks at his arms and then kind of like pokes them as they go all flabby.
Fully just kind of half frowns, half glares at you.
Garth must know that Violet is Audrey, but I don't think Mawson knows it if he's not been told by Garth.
Anybody that's been listening to the bugs would know as much as all the other characters.
Garth
For all
knows.
the times we've called Violet Audrey.
Exactly.
Mawson
Well,
does.
also, she kind of has explained it to you guys in front of, like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In this room.
exactly.
Garth will say pointedly, "Where's your American friend? 'Cause we got some bad news about her business. I believe you're working for the family now, too, Ms. Dunning?"
Interning.
Yeah, you'll be going straight back to Horizon. They're being told to leave. They're being advised it by their government, but they're also being asked politely to by ours.
I will suggest that Audrey maybe actually request citizenship.
She's a metahuman. She deserves it.
I'll tell her.
Mm. But on the down low, there's a lot of things that public haven't been told that a lot of us at the PEP have been talking about. And that's expanding Secret Surf too.
I was surprised that was even mentioned.
I don't think it was at the debate, was it?
No, not at
No.
all.
But when did it come up? Because the phrase "secret surf" definitely came up in the news.
No, Luke just said it.
I think
Fair.
but
we were talking about it. Yeah.
All right, my bad.
Good. Good. Just worried me for a second there. Well, what we're really
Expanding inside the scope.
in scope, we're gonna want eyes on the vigilante program, and we're gonna want an in there because we suspect that a lot of the people who apply for this might just be looking to cause chaos, harm, gain power. There's some scary stuff talk in the certain groups on the island.
So we joined this program and work for you. It's like that spy movie.
very specific.
I want to ask which one, but I don't need
It's
to.
all of them.
Yeah.
Mawson speaks up. We're teaming up, me and Garth, finally. After that last job, it feels necessary.
See, I told you Morrison wasn't the mole.
There's a mole. What mole? The US mole. Is there...
Yes.
Right. Why would that be fucking me?
I don't. Ask the
You're
guard.
very much in the shadows.
You could be good at it.
He shakes his head. Takes his glasses off and cleans them. He's got tiny, tiny eyes. Like Haley Joel Osment.
Oh,
I was
so
gonna say,
he's
like,
Canadian.
Anything else we need to know that's not on the news?
Anything about Tennessee?
No, that's our business.
Tara, you've gone really quiet again.
I was whispering at him because that's our business.
Oh, sorry. No. He never said anything then.
No, I think that's about it.
How fast do you think this is all going to happen?
Fast.
Well, then maybe I should be, if I'm gonna be there, maybe I should make a public display of being like first in line or whatever.
If you make it in time. He points at the news and it's showing outside of Parliament. There's a few people in costumes already there.
They camped.
Well, I need to get this shit off, so I'm actually gonna go. Oh, before I go, I'll say, like, also, by the way, that suicide that wasn't a suicide was committed by 2 scaly dudes. That's all I got.
Well, once you're registered, you'll be able to deal with that yourself.
Just figured I'd let you know.
2 scaly dudes at the top of that building. Gotcha.
Anyone else registering for this shit?
Lucius is going to bury.
Lucius shouldn't, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna look at Morrison and say, "I probably wouldn't like to register, but I trust you, so I'll go with Lily and the rest."
Oh, no. Shit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. You should all register. But I'll make sure your ratings get flubbed.
Huh?
What do you mean, flood?
Falsified.
They won't go public. And there'll be errors that mean you're not in the official rankings. But you will be
Oh.
registered. So Surf won't give you shit. They'll just see computer errors if you ever get in trouble with them.
Oh. Well, that changes everything. I'm
Alright.
definitely signing up.
That
Yeah,
changes
that's-
my mind.
That's
Same.
pretty helpful.
Yeah, shit, sorry, I meant to mention that.
Way to bury the lead.
I thought we were like going legit or something.
Still, thanks, Morrison. That's good to hear.
Oh, some of you should absolutely go legit. Because, you know, people are going to see you doing this at one point and ask for your autograph. And they're going to look you up on the website.
Me, probably red. I
Yeah.
don't know, though.
I would definitely recommend you registering, Sigrid.
Wait,
Probably
wait.
biased too because he doesn't wear a mask.
Just, Red, you have a tendency to live your DNA everywhere.
Well, that doesn't
And
matter. It's more
Lose your costume.
leaving handshakes.
I can't imagine anything an official vigilante would do would result in DNA being left everywhere.
Getting stabbed?
Coming off a building.
Sneezing.
I do tend to bleed a lot.
All right, well,
Also,
get me a list of who's official, though. Because this is going to move fast. They want this in place before the anniversary.
I mean, is anybody not heading down to like sign up?
I'm registering, but I don't want to be official.
I
Oh,
think
fair.
I'm official, and I don't know who else is going to be official. It's up to you guys.
Alright, I be official.
I'll stay out just to be able to get you guys what you need.
So
He's
Lucius is
staying out.
going unofficial.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna keep
In fact, no,
Official
he don't even need you to go down there and register. He's going to put you unofficially in the records. He can do that.
I think does the people who are going official need to go down there and make a bit of a scene or not?
Absolutely, especially if you want to be some of the first in line. Because you see people like landing in that footage already.
All right, Red, let's go.
And wait in line for... Alright.
So
You're-
are you
You
gonna
don't have to
float?
wait.
Go ahead.
I could go down there and just make. Anyway, I'm going down. You don't have to go down. I need my. She wants to be noticed.
I was going to say that they're willing to protect vigilantes' identities. The American system, air quotes, I've mentioned it a lot, but I've not actually described it. It's Marvel superheroes. They have secret identities if they want them. And the system will be designed to protect people's real-life identities from their crime-fighting identities.
Oh,
There we go.
So you will
Oh.
register in character.
if I go official, that mean I not have to be stupid berserker anymore?
You could just be
Correct.
Sigrid if you wanted.
Well, no, I think you're going to be a stupid berserker no matter what happens.
Ew.
Am I right? Oh, hold up my hand. Nobody high fives it.
shake head
Sigrid might
slowly.
high five it.
I was told not to leave
I
hanging.
think Sigrid missed that entirely.
Well, I mean, if I can go official with just my alter ego, I'm in.
I mean, the state will be keeping a track of who you really are.
Audrey, or sorry, not Audrey. Wouldn't have said that. Violet, I think you should stay on the DL personally.
I agree.
Big eye roll.
But I'm completely out of liquid. I want a break.
Okay.
Who are you taking with you? Who's going with Lily to be in the first group of 30 or so metahumans to register?
I think
I'll
it's
take
Henry.
Go.
Is Myas going in the first group?
Nope.
Myas is a bad boy. If you want Myas to do anything, you best tell him not to.
I mean, on a lot of
you're
levels,
doing it wrong. You gotta bribe him with a bag of Cheetos.
you don't really want him to be in the first group anyways. Like, you don't want the press.
Spooky snacks?
Did you say Vitas?
Cheetos.
But yes, I think quick break. 'Cause I need to use the restroom.
Yep, Terry, use the restroom. I'll get a drink. Everyone else, do your things. We'll be right back. We are back. So, I believe Lily and Sigrid are heading straight to join the throng of metahumans, both costumed and not, arriving outside Parliament, demanding immediate access to registration because they want to legally help the people of the island immediately. And indeed, provisional licenses are being handed out.
And
Might
ankle
just well
braces
wait a day.
removed.
And yes, ankle bracelets removed. That actually won't happen for a couple of days. The official reasons and paperwork. bureaucracy moving at the speed of secretaries, which I can confirm is not fast.
So, like in this line we're in, is there like legitimately people who are not a joke?
Oh yeah, well, the reflective guy, reflection. He's right in front of you, and he is dense. The pavement is like as the line steps forward. Clunk.
Okay.
Hey, reflective.
My name is Reflection. Hello, are you in costume?
No.
Lily Dunning.
Me.
Your family are the founders.
Some of them.
He clunks his chest. Bong. I will protect the people of this island. You're joining me?
Like, red
That's
beans.
Sigurd's response.
Like, I mean, I've already got in trouble for already been doing it for like a while, and
He nods. I watched your court case. It was important to me. This has always been my calling. Like so many of us. Gestures up and down the line. People are being, like, ushered forward. There's someone with a clipboard at the front.
well, that's good that they finally made it an actual career. Place my hand on the shoulder and say, "Good luck there, shiny brother."
He's... you can fly, never mind. I'll allow it. He's cold. In fact, no, he's probably, like, roasting. Because it's Nirvana and it's noon.
But he's very reflective.
Do mirrors
If
not get
he-
hot in...
If he angles himself in a specific way, he could
light
burn
fires?
someone else.
Yeah. Watch out, his belly button don't get you.
Mabel Blaster.
Back at the pharmacy, moments after Sigrid and Lily pop out, Mawson and Garth say the goodbyes. They're busy. They've got things to do. Any questions for them before they leave?
Nothing comes to mind.
I don't think so.
Oh, primers. I'm gonna need a handful of primers, like 200 or fewer. Where can I get those? Where I'm
Cartridge
not gonna raise any flags.
primers.
Firearms primers.
There's a company that imports them. They produce seismic sounding equipment that use shotgun shells.
And would they be available for purchase, or am I going to have to engage in some light larceny?
We can work something out.
You can figure something out, aye. This permits. But you're also going to have to produce at least a couple of models of these things a year. Or at least the shotgun shells that work in the machine.
Might be able to come up with some sort of a dual purpose. Whatever. I'll figure something out. Thank you. You've gotten me closer than I was before, for sure.
He nods. Try not to murder anyone. That's still a code.
Hey, I've been good.
It's still the first code. Vigilantes aren't going to be given authority to kill in any manner. In fact, yeah, I've not pointed that out, but a big part of the vigilante program is going to be absolutely no authority to kill, use lethal or deadly force in any circumstance against any citizen of Nirvana or human or metahuman.
License to maim?
You've not been forbidden from maiming.
Dismemberments?
There will probably
Asking
be some.
for a friend.
There will be early incidents that establish case law.
Case law is avoided in Nirvana, but early incidents may influence public opinion, which influences the PEP to enact codes that forbid certain actions, such as removing someone's genitalia. Probably. I feel like someone's going to do that at some point.
Oh yeah.
Someone already has done that, in effect.
All right, so that happened.
So that happens, yes. Sorry, I got distracted by the entire reason I switched back to this place. I made a couple of GM checks. I needed to check them out.
I mean, also, are the news crews like haranguing people in the line and things like that? I really want to get interviewed. That would be amazing.
They are indeed going up the line and interviewing people. They're like maybe 10 down from you at the minute. My lungs.
All right, Red. When they talk to you, remember, there's no swearing.
No gamer language.
So, keep that in mind.
Tara, you cut out a bit there.
So keep that in mind. But, oh God, please let Sigurd go. I want that more than.
Look, have you recovered?
I think I've recovered. So there is a zoom. I'm assuming that you did not have active detect mines on.
I heard something about active detect mines, but I just got back.
Right, yes, you did BRB. Do you have that on active at all times?
No, it's a thing she has to concentrate on.
Gotcha. In the doorway, after it's closed, a few seconds after Mawson and Garth leave, the Yakuza invisible swords person appears.
Welcome to our place.
They bow slightly. Given the important news, our respective associates, our shared associates, would like an assurance that we will have people in this vigilante group or system.
So there was a quick putting on of costumes for a couple of us before he was let in.
Garth and yep, correct.
Yep.
You are in costumes.
Are you concerned that we're going to rat out your people?
No. We are concerned that vigilantes are going to hurt our people. Misguidedly, potentially.
Wouldn't be the first time.
We definitely did it first.
Can I make a suggestion for your whatever they call their leader?
Speak freely. I will recite it to them free of any vulgarness or bias in tone.
Come forward. Not with everything you do, but make your group's presence known and make sure that everybody knows how important the well-being of the island is to you.
You could probably sponsor a team.
I suspect your views will be appreciated.
No charge.
She giggles. It's probably less creepy. So, what are you guys up to? It just leans against the wall. I thought this might take longer. I've got 5 minutes.
Fair. Mind if I ask you about cyberware?
Feel free.
I've been thinking about getting my nails done, and she takes a couple steps forward.
Nails.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting replaced with like something really sharp and durable.
Oh.
Meow.
We have a surgeon. He has repaired me. He comes highly recommended. In Japan, he is heart surgeon #1.
That sounds like a story that I want to hear sometime.
Shields her
But
hand out.
Not now.
Steady hand.
That's important.
But yes,
no rush. It's just something I've been thinking about.
he's doing all sorts of things. She taps her head.
That's impressive. That's hard to find around here. Most people won't go near your brain.
In Japan, he is brain surgeon #1. Shields her hand
right.
out.
Duh.
Steady hand. She did also just say he was heart surgeon #1.
Yeah, but I'm not going to contradict the scary lady.
She points over at Lucius's shadow that's smoking. He also lung surgeon #1.
I wasn't going to register openly.
That's fine. This is still in the pharmacy.
Yeah, there's only two people
sorry.
in line.
Sorry. Yeah.
Because you didn't say Lucius was going to go in line right away, so we assumed you weren't.
Which
Okay.
was the correct assumption, it seems. But yes, you see us if you want that thing. Dangerous for pretty girls like us to go looking. None of you
Sounds
have
like a date.
seen this person's face, I don't think.
I'm willing to.
Lily?
I think maybe.
You're not certain if it's her. You think it's her. You're not sure who else it could be. This very attractive woman that you have seen a couple of times. But you've never seen her getting in or out of the suit of armor.
Huh.
And was this at the office via Owl, or is this in line?
No, this would have been... You would have seen who you think the swords woman is via Owl at some previous time, not at the office. You would have followed the boss.
No, I mean like right now. Is she in the office? I was paying only half attention.
She's in the pharmacy.
She is in
Thank
the
you.
pharmacy right now, talking to these dudes. those nerds that you hang around with.
Mhm.
Wait a minute, I know this bike. This is Takamoto's bike. And that one is Fred San's bike.
Not anymore. Spoils of war. Thank you. Goodbye.
I will not tell them. They are pricks.
Bit of confusion here. I thought
Laughs.
the other side was the front door.
So did I.
Ah,
Because that would be why you'd put the bikes there. Because
absolutely, that would make the more senses.
and before you covered up the original blueprint, it was clearly the front door.
This one.
Yeah, is
Pretty
that
sure.
That works.
So this is like an entry point. Oh no, yeah, you're right. I
Probably
think.
a storeroom. Yeah, it's got the HVAC stuff right there too.
Yeah,
Like a back alley
And
or
this is
something.
why I put the flag there.
yeah, I knew that. I'm not sure why it says Dutch there. I love Roll20 for making maps this way.
Warum
That
nicht?
is nice.
And yes. So that is the front door. My bad, Zils. I'll remember it in the future.
Earlier when Morrison arrived, Audrey answered the wrong door also.
To be fair, I was dropping him in at that door. Well, I think we've said everything that needs saying.
Probably. If anything else does come up, though, feel free to let us know, and we'll help if we can.
I would love to see your nails when you get them done.
Absolutely.
If you use our guy, I'm certain I will. Be warned.
Best nails.
Our gi.
It is lol. It is not cheap.
That's all right. I mean, it's the best nail surgeon in Japan. It's worth it.
He charges low. It is the materials.
Fair.
They have to either be stolen from Dunning Medical or imported via Japan. Imported is better
She
because
nods.
it is Chinese military spec. But either way, goodbye.
Yeah, take care.
She moonwalks backwards out, and the reporters just finish talking to Reflection. And
That was entertaining.
they just ask him a couple of quick questions. They look a lot more interested in you two young girls, one of whom is...
Known.
The ice lady, and the other one is the known daughter.
Lily Dunning, adopted daughter of founding family Dunnings. You're in line to register right now to be a vigilante, along with Sigrid. Do you want to talk to us about this?
Yeah, I mean, pretty obvious that I was already helping people.
You said that, but in the skirmish that you were involved in, that got you your community service sentence, weren't there 2 people who died?
Oh, were there?
Maybe only 1.
There were bodies there, so.
Oh yeah, there were
we
bodies
didn't
there.
we didn't make the bodies, but there were bodies.
I didn't arrive in time. When I got there, I saved, I think, a total of like 8 people I teleported out of there, right? Luke?
Uh,
Well, anyway, I teleported a bunch of people out and immediately got them for, medical facilities.
And Sigrid, presumably you're still adapting to society. How's that going? Do you miss
Go.
your home?
What you think?
But you presumably didn't have showers and microwaves, television.
So you are saying that it. Sorry. You are saying that I was primitive? That it wasn't good life?
Why do you want to help people? Why are you in line to be a vigilante?
Because I have skill set that matches in line with that.
Will you accept that you won't be allowed to use lethal force in any circumstance?
Yes.
How many English did you... How many people did you kill while you were Viking?
Really? Come on, guys.
I'm not actually able to answer that question.
Reflection turns around and says, many of us metahumans who sought refugee status here were forced to do unspeakable acts by our original governments.
I was not forced or coerced, and it was not unspeakable. They were Christians.
Facepalm Lily full force.
The reporters just kind of look a bit gobsmacked at you. Leave camera trained on your microphone in your face for a bit longer.
It was different time.
Have you got public speaking?
No! This is amazing. I love it.
What's your IQ?
I'm not.
Just roll 3d6. If it's over 13, it's crit fail. Okay, so it's not a crit fail.
I mean, it's a fail, but it's not a crit.
Sigrid goes on this weird rant. It's on live TV. It's on a few channels.
Lily's doing half giggles sometimes and like double facepalm at others, so she's just in the background the entire time.
Yeah. They eventually move on. Start interviewing more people behind you. After about 50 people have shown up, you're starting to get to the front, and someone comes out with a megaphone and stands like maybe 10 people behind you in the line and says, everyone beyond this point, we will not be able to register you today. Registrations will open tomorrow officially. Provisionally, they will be held here. A full location will be developed and details of which will be forthcoming. If you're behind this point in the line, please come back tomorrow. And people are like, oh, I'm here first. Give me a ticket to say I were here first so I can get to front. And a few of them just say, well, I'm staying. You can see me tomorrow, but I'm not moving. And then the few of you that are allowed to get in, Lily and Sigrid included, get ushered in as like a bit of an argument starts to happen between some people and some metahumans outside Parliament.
Well, that could have gone worse. That could have gone better. Looks at Sigrid and says, luckily you didn't slap him or anything. I'm proud of you.
See, I learn.
For now, they already have very up-to-date information on Sigrid and relatively up-to-date information on Lily. They will want to take your picture. They will want to take your fingerprints. They will want to take a fresh DNA sample where they are able to.
I mean, they've
The
already
picture
got
thing
that
might
shit
be
from me.
difficult for Vampire Man.
And the blood sample will be difficult for Reflecto Boy, given that he doesn't have blood. Or the DNA sample, given that he doesn't have accessible DNA anymore, I don't think. Or he does, it's just that you're never going to scrape anything off him.
Yeah, it's a double helix of metal.
Mm-hmm. We do not have a way to sequence that. Consent
It's
to
gonna
all
be
this?
funny when you
on.
eventually accidentally give him a Russian accent.
It is.
Yes. It is.
I mean, he might be Russian. He did talk about coming from a place that made him do terrible things.
I mean, that's anywhere else in the world except for South America.
Fair.
Including South America.
Really? I thought they were legit. Okay.
It's a whole continent.
There's this big place. You consenting to all that, though?
I mean, they've already got all that shit from me the last time.
They want it again.
Yep.
Sure, I guess.
Cool. And then you will have to sign a bunch of documents. Mostly stating that they are all just the codes, the general codes of Nirvana, that you state you will abide by in enforcing any action against other citizens of Nirvana or in threats or in helping people. It's similar to the Surf Oath that you've read about in civics class.
We gotta make you a taser axe.
Just axe
Yeah,
people's
figured them
legs.
out.
Just go for the legs. And it will be a long process because there's a few people in line before you and they weren't expecting this kind of response immediately. And it'll probably
They
take
never really do.
the rest of the day. What's everyone else up to rest of that day? By rest of that day, I mean till evening, 5 or 6 p.m.
Mhm. Audrey has a bunch of phone calls to make. The first one being her lawyer.
They'll want to know what you want to do.
I want to stay in the country. Can you figure out how to make it happen with an academic thing?
Yes. Yes, I
Because
can.
I'm not here on an economic visa. I'm here on an academic visa.
Correct. That's fairly tight as well. You should be fine. You should be fine. Your lawyer can solve that.
All right, great.
You should definitely talk to your financial advisor.
Yeah, that's the second call.
They will tell you to move some money around, almost definitely.
I'm comfortable saying that Andre spends an afternoon talking to various bankers around the world.
The financial advisor tells you to talk to your accountant. Your accountant tells you that he's going to need your signature on a bunch of forms that he faxes.
At least 2 of them just say they quit. They're going back to the States, whatever.
Oh, it's conflict of interest. I've already been instructed by your Uncle Autry.
It's an awkward afternoon.
It is an awkward afternoon. Some of your hair falls out for sure. The dogs just like, you know, they look nervous at you. They look sad as you're pacing around your apartment,
That is the correct response.
looking for bank books and what have you.
What about the rest of you?
I'm sure Guy's in his workshop diddling things.
Guy is actually watching the news coverage and trying to match up faces with people that he knows from the past in his timeline.
Okay. Give me intelligence analysis. Legit, you've got... No, just give me... research?
I don't have research.
Bollocks.
Do you have a current affairs?
I have area knowledge. I don't think I have current affairs. I do not have
I mean,
current affairs.
if it's an area knowledge relative to your old place, that sounds relevant.
If it's relevant to Nirvana.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nirvana lived there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it this timeline or that timeline? Or both?
That timeline.
You recognize a lot of them.
I don't need an enumerated list, but anybody that sticks out as being either, beneficial more than this group of people that I'm already with, or anybody who was a villain in the previous timeline, I would make a note of.
You do spot a villain from the previous timeline. Or someone who you're pretty sure is a villain. You'll have to try harder to remember what they got up to exactly. And the others are mostly people that Lily knows. Cheese Girl is there, you see. She's one of the people who didn't make it to the line in time. They're still interviewing outside Parliament. The villain is someone who's already registered, though, and you catch them on the way out. I've not got a character for him or a name off the top of my head.
That's okay. That's okay. Like, you can use that hook in the future.
Yerp. And you can be doing that while you're working on machinery. I'll allow that.
Oh, I'm always working on machinery.
The rest in years.
Rest of us?
The rest in years. As in
I mean,
Lucius. Muted, probably?
everybody?
Yes. Apparently, I was muted and talking to myself again. Anyways, I was saying if I could possibly try to recon Tenzin's place. Now that we know we are able to.
Possibly. You want to try and sneak in?
Yes. I want to see if I can find anything that could help us or that could hinder us so that we are prepared.
It's a pretty fancy place. And it has security.
Stealth?
Observation first. Because you know you're not going to be wanting to go willy-nilly in, because they might have some sorts of defences.
Of course. I got an 11.
You think you might be able to get in at certain points? Give me a stealth check.
I'll take time and give you a stealth check. For 12.
You get into the gardens area. This is legit somewhat of a house with gardens in the hills.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot you dare not go inside because you spot high-tech security equipment. There's
Okay,
also like guards walking around that you see people talking into headsets and stuff. And you do not see a stealthy way that you could get in and out in time without getting caught.
Do I see one of those security people that's patrolling alone?
Yeah, you would.
Can I try to use my possession on him?
Yeah, you can.
Here goes my best effort. 7.
You get him.
Uh, I'll continue doing the same patrol I saw him do while trying to remember my job orders, my job directives, any routines, any times that I know I can exploit from it, while just continuing doing my job.
Okay. Give me an IQ check at a -2, please.
14, just on the nose.
Yeah. Your mission is to protect Chozon and Tenzin from anyone who might try and hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the general routine. They pretty stringent. There's like a group of 12 of them in total that work security. Several of them are metahumans. This guy is not, though.
Okay. Any meta detecting security that I could know from him?
They have access to it. If meta powers
Where?
are used in the house, then they know about it. There's someone monitoring a computer.
Would me coming in as a shadow count, or I would have to turn into a shadow inside the house?
Give me another IQ check.
15 out of 16.
He doesn't know enough about the machinery in memories that you're picking up.
Got it.
From what he doesn't work that stuff, but he's seen it, and it looks like it can track all people inside, and display whether they're a metahuman or human.
Got it. Any other information that I could get from this?
Still looking into this kind of stuff.
Yeah, any useful information about security, about the patrolling, any time schedules that I'll be able to take advantage, or we would be able to take advantage of?
One more IQ check, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You kind of remember everyone's shift pattern pretty much for the next week, and it is pretty solid. It takes some. You can't see any weaknesses in particular in the whole system.
Okay.
Like, if
Do you mind?
the party's going to be the best time to go for it, really, because people will be mingling all throughout if you want to look around inside that house.
Got it.
Do you mind if I suggest a question?
Go on.
We're asking Luke.
I don't mind.
Kind of meta. Maybe there's some changes coming up, or he's been told something about what's happening at the party. Changes of security or extra things they're doing for it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll allow that in your current intelligence roll as well. That works as a reminder to me, because that is important. They will be taking on extras. In fact, he is one of the extras, and he came through an agency that is based in Nirvana, providing private security.
Got it. Okay. So after knowing all that, I'll just let him be and leave like Lucius was never there. And after I back out the pharmacy, I'll let everybody know what I found out about the security, about how well protected it is, how at risk Lucius is going to be once he's inside of the manor, since he might be able to trigger that alarm. He will tell them about the security agency. Maybe they can do something about that, about infiltrating that. And he will let them know about the scheduling, that there might be more people in, and that there might be metas.
I imagine you explain all that when everyone next meets up.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, I imagine Matthias wasn't just sitting around waiting after
No,
you
yeah,
started
no.
leaving.
Matthias,
Come on,
what
you're just
what
gonna
were your
sit there and
afternoon
stare all
like?
day?
Watch Guy do his thing, get all sweaty, take his shirt off, spray the
Wait, that's an
delouser.
option?
It is if you've not got millions of dollars to move around.
Sigh.
But Matthias,
Woe is me.
Sir?
how would you like to spend your Sunday afternoon? Studying? In the library like a nerd?
I thought it would have been evening.
When everything catches up. But what did you do after Lucius left?
I mean, like, major stuff on the TV. Doesn't that usually happen in the evening?
Yeah, but it's
It
been
wa- it
major
was a
stuff on the
government
news all
announcement.
Okay, yeah, studying.
Fair enough. Myas? Oat in particular?
Might as well pay, or try to pay Big D a visit.
Mm-hmm.
See if they made any progress after a week.
Mila's been very busy, but she's got him in an incubator. She'll roll her eyes and begrudgingly allow you to see Big D. He has
Hey.
grown slightly. He'll roll over to the perspex wall of the incubator as you appear. And he spreads out in front of it. Mila rolls her eyes. And Big D starts tapping angrily on the glass. He's like the size of a hamster now.
Oh,
Kind of hamster shaped, like a blob. A big fat hamster.
how's it going there, buddy? You look a little bigger.
He can talk, but he doesn't shut up. So I turned it off. Here, one moment. And she's typing away at a computer. And then she says, there, go, feel free. And it's already got a message on the screen saying, like, Myas, hello, how are you? Are you well? I'm doing great. What have you been up to? I've been in this box.
Yeah, might as well make small conversation with Big D.
I have been enjoying talking to Mila, but she turned off the voice thing, so she cannot see what I've been saying to her. I do not think, anyway.
How's the food?
Excellent. There is wide variety. I am learning to enjoy the synthetic thing that she has been providing most often. We are perfecting the flavor.
Awesome. Any idea when you're gonna be, your normal old size?
The computer screen goes silent for a few seconds. We fear I may never be my full size again.
Oh, what the hell, that sucks.
It seems my impressive mass was in part due to genes I was borrowing from other metahumans.
Oh. They took them away?
No, you and Guy did.
Also, you had to be, like, connected.
It was in that brain device.
But I left the brain device there.
In Big D. Oh, you mean just
No,
with
it-
Mila?
Yeah, it was separated, but I left it there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do not
Well,
know why it does not work anymore.
maybe they'll figure a way to fix it.
Maybe.
Do you have any plans for the future?
I have been reading. I have access to the internet, though there is a safety filter that Mila refuses to switch off.
Well, you can't get everything in one go, you know. Gotta pace yourself.
I am learning JavaScript.
Do you like it?
No.
No. Well, learn something else like Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
Yeah. Plenty of Kung Fu movies.
You see his like hard drive light flashing that Mila's got set up on this computer.
I love the idea that Kung Fu is blocked, but Kung Fu movies are not blocked.
Probably. It's like, acceptable.
Yeah.
Tell Mila I require Kung Fu movies.
Hey, Mila, you gotta let him watch some Kung Fu movies. He's gotta learn something good.
She's like, I'll bring some laser discs in or whatever.
Thanks. Yeah, he'll spend some more time there.
Eventually Mila will kick you out. She's like,
Yeah.
I've got a lot of work to do, bro. You've had an hour and a half with your weird fleshy hamster monster.
And then he'll probably do some community service.
Mm-hmm. Down at the hospital.
Yeah.
Great. And I'm good to carry on for a while yet. My landlord were meant to be coming round tomorrow, but he cancelled, and I am happy for it.
Nice. I am as well.
He's meant to be fitting a
so-
new oven, but I'd still rather he came round on the day that he's rearranged to.
Fair.
So is it, I assume a couple days later or something like that? Because we have till Friday till the party, right?
Correct. Although, did you want to gather back up this evening, everyone?
I mean, is there a reason to, guys?
Not particularly. Unless you wanted to mention that you registered no problem. I don't know.
I mean, that's a text thing.
Fair.
Yeah, don't cut into my manufacturing time.
Like, I think for the rest of that evening, I'm just gonna get home and get berated by Mom because, you know.
You've signed
was
up for
on
the
live.
Vigilante Act.
Yeah.
Why have you done this, Lily?
So I can shave this part of my leg again.
Itchy, you scratching. She's like, Lily, as if it wasn't bad enough already. Now you're going to be out actually looking for this stuff on a daily basis.
Like,
We already have been.
What? Oh, I see what the problem is. Some bastard's been... I'm like, why can't I see these letters? Someone has been fucking about with my date. Now I know what we're going on though.
But yeah, no, it'll just be dealing with the mom guilt.
Mm-hmm. Ray's like looking sympathetic constantly, but not actually saying anything in your defense.
Yeah, that's even worse.
She'll say something later.
In the meantime, while watching TV with Sigrid, I will be keeping a close eye on.
You see,
Siobhan.
there's one clip from Sigrid's interview that gets played constantly, like every hour on the hour. It's the same 2 lines from Sigrid
But they were
about
Christian.
killing Christians.
Every time it happens, after the second time, she's gonna take a drink. Killing Christians.
She get on some message board and post a meme, drinking game.
But I was gonna.
Sigrid
bring
at
up-
this point looks over at Mila and is like, should I not have said that?
Well, no, telling the truth's good, Sigrid. But
But she's as she's gonna lean back and going. But seeing as you're fostered by a Jewish family, that's probably not the best thing to say.
oh, Mel Gibson's already
Oh.
released his own statement, for sure.
He's the Secretary of State.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You know what? He fucking is. That's amazing. I love it. President James Woods and Secretary of State Mel Gibson. What's Mel short for? Melanie? I assume it's Melanie Gibson. What is it really short for?
Could be Melvin.
Melvin. It must be Melvin. Secretary of State Melvin Gibson. That's even better, honestly.
It could be the last half of a name also.
Oh, Caramel Gibson.
No, Mel is actually his name.
Just Mel.
It's actually Mel Cocumel Gerard Gibson.
Fucking Australians, man.
So it could be short for Cockamel.
Yeah, there's a reason Australia is a desolate wasteland.
So really his name is Mel.
Yeah.
We're getting too deep into the Secretary of State of that fascist country.
Yes.
Just wait until we come up with a VP.
It's all flavor.
But yeah,
Kramer.
I do believe that it's probably a good idea not to mention that anymore, Sigrid. Again, there has been history between our two communities.
Okay. I not mention it again.
I think it's
I mean, you can mention it to us, but not on TV.
just as big a problem is it's jarring for people, Sigrid. If you're a real life Viking, like something from a comic book or a movie, come to life for them. They're not so used to living with death like you are.
Well, I keep that quieter, I guess.
Around us, it's fine, Red.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not on TV.
And I've already
He's-
recorded it for posterity. And then a phone rings. She gets a text message. Killing Christians. And she's like, I was just testing it as a soundbite. I didn't mean to change my tone.
Lily's gonna look over and say, "Wait, that's your new ringtone?"
Not
Oh.
anymore.
No! Keep it on that. I'm sick and tired of hearing my voice at my bat mitzvah.
Oh, I'll leave it for a while. Just remember to put it on vibrate for the day. And do we want another break and then come back for the last segment?
Sure.
Works for me.
Yeah, I'm good with
Mhm.
that.
All right, I think I need more liquid. We'll be right back. We're back. Not slagging anyone off live on air. Yet. Oof, we had so far Mel Gibson. He deserves it.
Michael
No.
the VP.
Who?
Michael Richards.
Michael Richards. Oh, Kramer.
They don't all
Oh
have
my
to be
god.
movie stars.
Yes, they do.
Ooh. Michael Richards is
But,
a good one. That's too real for me. But some of you have registered as official superheroes, somewhat. It's all in the very early stages, but there was a bit of a rush by excited and interested parties, and Lily and Sigrid have only gone and done it.
Is anybody going to go day 2 or 3?
How are the crowds?
At 8 a.m. on Monday morning, there's about 200 people in line to register. There's still about 200 people in line to register at lunch on Monday. And they end up turning away about 30 people who waited about 6 hours in line.
They must be pissed.
Damn.
Those people this time do get given priority tickets in order that they are in the line when they get turned away, so that they can come earlier the next day. Or be seen whenever they want.
Well, that's nice.
Can I text Melina?
Cheese girl, yeah.
Yeah. Just want to say, like, guess who got to be registered 24 hours before someone else? Coy smiley face, coy smiley face, coy smiley face.
He's like, don't be a bitch. It is just because you can teleport. Like, I was in the shower. I still got there only 10 minutes too late. That's the number 2. I have never gone faster. It took a full 12-man surf cleanup crew to get rid of the cheese wake I left on Kipling Avenue. And then she sends you a link to a news story about a bunch of people getting cheesed on Kipling Avenue yesterday. By someone rushing to register.
I just wanted to do that little fluffy.
That's
Unless
fine by me. So you have got plans to infiltrate a charity gala event, mostly for people in the free economic zone. This would have been attended by a lot of Americans.
Yeah.
Not so many now, but still a lot of former American, now citizens of Nirvana.
Naturalized is what you were thinking.
Naturalized is the word I wanted, yes. Lucius has already got a lot of information, and he's relayed it all to you by Monday evening, I'm sure. Or if
I
not,
do have a question.
go on.
With our annual donation that the Dunnings make, how many are we allowed with our ticket? I'm not
Mm,
adding anything more. I just want to know.
your ticket will only bring Ray, Mila, you, and Sigrid.
Oh, so they're coming this year.
They're not coming, but they're not replaceable with someone else.
Gotcha. Okay, so just the two of us, like I thought. Good to
Uh-huh.
know.
But you can fill out your details on that website independently. It's not just for Ray and Mila. It seems to be
Okay.
for anyone.
Cool.
Audrey, have you got any administration abilities? The skill.
Let me check.
Finance, something like that.
She definitely has something like that. There's just so many; it's hard to have all of them. Yeah, I've got finance.
Give me a finance roll, please. And you can give yourself some bonuses to that as well. So, no problem. You managed to keep yourself pretty secure, even in the worst circumstances where your family suddenly decided to seize all the assets they could off you. You'd still be in very good circumstances.
That's good.
Your
Although
money's
they're
protected from your family, protected from the government of Nirvana, protected from the US government.
I mean, the real risk is if I actually abandon the states and come to Nirvana, like for real, the U.S. government eats it all.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't leave money there, or at least you have to accept any money you leave there is going to be lost.
I see. Yeah.
But she is leaving money there though, because you can't look like you're abandoning the country entirely. It looks bad. That was a lot of rambling because I don't actually know what she's doing. What money's going where yet?
No worries, pal. I'm sure we'll get into that. We should Patreon what Audrey's doing in the background.
I mean, we still have to edit the crap out of our other Patreon stuff.
Fair.
I also watched a great fight scene earlier that I'd love to turn into a GURPS combat. Might do it. I might actually do it. It's a great fight scene, and it's only 10 seconds long, so it can be done.
I will bring Sigrid back to Victor at some point because we need to get her another dress because she's destroyed all the dresses.
Yep. This is also true. But are you meeting for general planning of what you want to do when you get in there? General planning of getting anyone in there other than Lily and Sigrid?
Sounds reasonable.
Okay.
Like Monday night-ish?
It's Monday night. You've finished university for the day. You've been home and had your supper. You've been home and boned your girlfriend. You've been home and thought about having a girlfriend to bone.
Does Lucius share?
Yeah, Lucius tells everybody what he found out.
I'm sure he told some people on Sunday evening, because Guy would have been back at the place still. Guy doesn't leave the pharmacy, I don't think, much.
Not really, no.
So yeah, Guy already knew, and then next person that goes to the pharmacy knows. Next person after that knows if they meet any of those three. Until it's Monday evening and you've all agreed to meet up. Probably at the pharmacy, because Guy's like, I'll be here.
So which day are we
It's Monday.
hovering around now?
It is Monday evening.
Oh, okay.
You would have had university classes in the day.
Yeah.
You would have needed to eat. It's probably 7 p.m. Monday. You've got a few hours spare. There's
Nothing
superheroes
special today.
all
Nothing.
over the streets.
Oh, right. How were the lines that kind of got...
Oh, yeah, 30 people got turned away today. So
I think.
What do you mean turned away?
as in the line was so long that they weren't going to be able to see them in time today.
Yeah, might as well just wait for a good line then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's going to make it more difficult to get in.
It did seem like it were quieting down a lot.
I was commenting on
Oh,
the scouting report.
and the invitations, yes.
Well, like, I mean, we could get someone in, like, Guy could definitely get in on if we can get him, quote unquote, hired onto the security team.
I can probably just walk in. Or, I mean, it would look like I was teleporting in, but I don't have Lily's range, but 500 meters is plenty for something like this.
It sounds like they have a target tracking system inside the house.
Oh, right.
Any way we can shut it off?
Well,
Yes,
is
that-
actually, yes, absolutely.
I mean, if you can shut it off, I can move around without a problem.
There you go.
Although, I mean, it could fail. Like, that's hacking.
Lily and Sigrid hack the computer. The files are in the computer.
They're in the computer?
How do we get them out?
How do
Also,
we get
hacking the computer to somebody who frequently uses axes.
Yeah,
Crash.
Ow!
Job done.
Yeah.
be careful.
Um,
There's a firewall.
I'm gonna look and be like, guys, I am okay at using the computer, but I ain't hacking anything.
Then yeah, I guess I should probably get hired on.
I can break computer. Would that help?
No.
Yeah, I
You don't
not
know
what you
that.
said.
Audrey, I mean, like, you could still use some, or sorry, are you Violet, right? Violet, you could
Yeah.
use your, some of your monies to get in. I mean, it's a donation.
I mean, what's the ticket per plate?
Luke,
It didn't say. It's so elite that it asks you to make a. It asks you to say what your spending cap would be.
how much did we spend yearly?
You're kind of a special case.
You're a founder.
So you get invited regardless. But oh, I don't know. Have you got finance? If you give me an IQ check and pray to whoever you want. Me, probably.
Probably gonna fail. I'm not good at. Oh, I made it.
It's about-
Nice.
You think it's a lot. You've heard your mum talking about how you're actually allowed to keep some of this if you're giving it away. The accountant says. So what actually happens is you donate around 100,000 a year to these causes.
But our taxes
You-
then go down.
Yeah, but then you pay slightly less in taxes, so you actually make about 100,000 more a year.
That's fairly common in the US.
Like-
Uh,
We donate 100,000 to charities per year, but
it's not
That's
too
all
bad,
free
but
economic zone related, though.
yeah.
Nirvana at large don't work like this.
it's not too bad, but it's a lot just for information.
You might be able to trade on your name.
Not this week.
I have one more idea. I could actually try to just get us more tickets.
Fair.
I mean,
pretty-
not from mom, but like I've been tracking Tenzin's movements for like a month now, and I could easily track him down and flirt with him and see if we couldn't, like, get some more tickets.
Out of character, Lee says this with no offense, but Audrey says Audrey looks skeptical.
I'm just seeing like Lily, we like owl poop in her hair,
She's actually very fashionable and attractive.
Not been sleeping great though.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Crust in the eyes. Owl scratches on the face. Dead mice in
you
the
could flirt
purse.
with him.
Anyone gonna say it? Nope. I've not got an
Nope.
NPC present. Fair enough.
I mean, I could get you to him, and you could flirt with him. And that gets at least one more person in.
How many people do we need to get in?
Look at around the room.
So you're getting in too.
Red and I are in already.
Myas is going to ride someone?
Yeah, but don't they have tracking? That's the whole deal.
I
If
mean,
you
If
know
he's,
he's
if he's
out-
inside somebody, then
Are they going to be able to keep this tracking thing turned on during a gala, though? Like,
it's a good point.
there's going to be a lot of people walking in and out of that place.
I mean, we could always try. In worst case scenario, you guys gotta bail.
Can you get me a press pass?
I could probably steal some press passes. Is there
I mean-
press at this thing?
There is always press at it, yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, worst
that
case scenario, if I get caught sneaking in, it's like, oh, well, I was just going to try and get a scoop. I worked for Horizon.
that's actually a really good idea. Are there press passes on in like that studio that's pseudo shutting down or getting? Oh, I bet that place is a wreck right now.
You'll totally get in trouble for stealing some, but nobody will care. Because
Yeah. Yeah, legit. There's Horizon press passes.
Scattered all over that studio right now.
There's like 5. There were 5. You know where they are right now.
Just
but
grab them.
You haven't been in the office since like Friday.
Do I have eyes in the studio? Remember, there are owls in there.
There are owls in the studio. Bollocks. Let's see how friendly the owls are feeling.
and what the state of the studio is.
I mean, I feed them whenever I'm at the internship.
Yep,
But
they're friends for sure. I think that were a bad roll.
well, if not, I teleport to someplace nearby, float up to the window, and then fan.
Oh, that were a much better roll. You're lucky that you've got a couple of owls in there. Because one of them's ignoring you. But the other one is like, there are lots of people. They are very busy. They are taking everything. They are shredding a lot of things.
Well, then I'm definitely popping in and grabbing some press passes and other shit that's getting shredded. Guys, I gotta go. I'll be right back. Yeah,
Okay.
press passes. Can I
Search.
get them. Have it.
Perception,
In a
if
few
not.
minutes.
Oh, yeah, you got the press passes.
So while Lily's gone, Violet's going to say something to the group, but finish the thing.
No, I mean I'm searching for like 10 minutes, so searching
Mhm.
takes a while.
Give me stealth
Uh,
as well, please. There's people running around all over the place.
I'm
Carrying
not trying to be
printers and
stealthy.
stuff.
There's people running around all over the place, and I'm a known entity.
Very well.
Go ahead.
Lee?
I'm sorry. So Violet looks at the group and says, "Is she okay?"
No. I'm trying to get her to come to AA meetings, but
I retract.
haven't tied her down yet.
Nods appreciatively. Is there anything else we can do?
His eyes kind of drift over to the dark room with the giant eye bolt clipped into the floor. Probably not, no.
All right.
Baby on the ceiling situation.
I'm sorry, what?
Baby on the
Yeah.
ceiling situation.
Yeah, exactly. 3 buckets.
So what is... I understand what Lucius can do, and he said he could also find stuff while in there. But what on earth are the rest of us supposed to do while in there?
I can't take any. No, that's not true. I can't take things, but I can search rooms and listen in on conversations. Without being spotted.
Right, and you said you could get by in there fine, but what about the rest of us?
I assumed generally looking around.
Keeping an eye on principals as they move around the party. Maybe
Honestly,
plant trackers on certain cars or people.
that's fair. We should bring some trackers in.
I want to speak to this American or this Tenzin.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right that it's a little redundant for all of us to be there, but
Can't hurt to have another pair of eyes in the room, but it's true that it's not necessary.
Herm.
turns on the news as we wait for her to return.
Does anything happen there? Do I get talked to?
A couple of people nod at you, but other than that, no.
I will actually, after I pocket the press passes, just pop into the main guy's office and say, "Well, I hate to see you go. It was nice working with you."
Oh, thanks very much, Lily. Everything I leave, you can have it. It's yours. Don't worry about it.
Look around. Is there nice things?
There are some nice things, but you don't know how much of it he's going to leave. He's got other people in there currently, like, scooping things into boxes. People keep, like,
Nod.
holding documents in front of his face, and he's, like, either shaking his head or nodding.
Nod, and then again, be appreciative and respectful, like you should be. Upbringing. And then peace out and literally just jump out of his office because, that's a known thing that happens too.
Mm-hmm. On
And
the
then on the middle
news, killing Christians, and then...
It's got to be a techno by this point.
Sigurd is gonna have a really weird fan base.
Yeah.
We considered purchasing a very large 0-point reputation.
I have that actually right now.
I got a whole bunch of points. I might spend some in a way that is at least helpful.
If it's a net positive, then it really should be helpful.
That's, yeah. But just so that way, like, that's a bad comment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, you'll say something stupid again soon. and-
Yeah, we'll spin it. We'll spin it right direction soon.
But yes, I will pop back in and do press passes a cheat.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a good cover and might even be a good way to get somebody legitimately on site, or at least semi-legitimately.
So I guess we just need to look the part and we'll be good.
Yep. You also got the schedule for the like we're along with the press passes, and you're meant to arrive at a certain time for security check and what have you.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, like, we can't bring weapons or anything, guys. But,
Oh, whatever. I don't need to bring it. If I need one, I can get it.
Also, we're not going there to fight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we need to plan for this thing very much, considering.
No, it's going to be a go in and explore thing.
Most likely.
Oh, when you guys were actually in line, the Yakuza stopped by.
Yeah, I saw them come in. I was
Right, else.
busy being distracted what they were saying because
Is there an owl in the workshop? It's very noisy in there.
he hates it. Or actually, not in the workshop anymore, outside.
Yeah, you did not see. Although you did see the door open and then close. But that.
Okay, so that's what that was.
Yeah, she relayed their concerns that vigilantes would sort of crack down on them.
It's gonna happen. We did the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Sort of fishing for ideas on how to address that, I guess.
Yeah, have some vigilantes from the Yakuza that actually help the communities that they're in.
That is what we suggested. Hopefully to work out, but I think it's gonna be a rough month.
Wow, guys, we had a positive influence on the island.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think that remains.
Yes,
Like
and
going
so-
around and murdering Yakuza, we convinced them to be vigilantes.
Okay, no, that's a fair thing that might have happened.
Just like 6 or 7 dominoes that fell over in between those two. But ultimately, if the effect is the same, I'm not gonna complain.
This is a high entropy universe.
So big picture wise, though, we're all on the same page that like nothing's actually changed.
I mean,
Nothing
Like Surf is still overreaching. The Americans are still going to try to murder all of everybody at the anniversary. Like all those things are still a thing, right?
oh,
Can you
like,
just
yeah.
like live in the moment for 3 days? Like, come on.
Fine.
My God. Debbie Downer over here.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to it, to be honest. That
What,
wasn't meant to be a
everybody
downer.
dying?
No, stopping it.
That's more like it.
Like
I also look
I'm
forward to American terrorism.
Better than, getting left like England did.
I should probably stop talking.
Like, yeah.
Like, yeah.
I can't, as a player, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of out.
I think we are reaching the time we'd normally stop, so I'll take
Yep.
us to a scene that I'd like to set up. I'll use guys, fuck's sake, Gee's 3 serendipities to have everyone in the same place for the start of next session.
Lol.
It's any location, street, You're actually on the street. You were talking
We're all having
about something.
kebabs.
Yeah. There's a really good food place. You were all talking about it. What day shall we make it? Wednesday?
Tuesday. Oh,
If we
Wednesday.
make it Wednesday, then Matthias the queues would have got manageable, down to only like 30 people at a time.
Yeah, sure, but actually, Mantius wanted a conversation with someone before going online
Oh, sure.
with one of the not stomped on bugs.
Oh, okay.
Would that be a monologue?
Depends if he.
I mean, we only stomped on one of them. The rest are in a box.
Yeah.
And he'll actually take it and like put it like next to a tree or something out in near his place.
Okay.
Hi, are you listening? I hope you are. It's about the registration stuff. Could I speak with Ghost? Thank you. And then he'll leave the tree that he just talked to.
Cool.
But so Wednesday or is it Tuesday that this next thing is happening?
Would you let's make it Tuesday when this next thing's happening. Tuesday, February 9th. Most of you will have still been at university.
I mean, it's after university. Kebabs.
Uh-huh. You were doing whatever, you got to talking, you want the damn kebabs. And they're tasty. You're chewing down on them. When, as a truck is going past on the street, it suddenly flips. I've got some road pieces somewhere. I should just be using them.
Yeah, we can theater it.
Aye.
You can do it in between weeks.
Aye. There's even a bus on here. Ooh, there's a bush. You've been on this map before. The van gets flipped, and you see someone walking out of a... probably some kind of currency exchange. Yeah, let's say a currency exchange across the street. And they have got glowing effects going on all around them. She
Well,
is
that's cool looking.
a fairly short, maybe 4'5", green-haired, bespectacled woman in a lab coat. And she's laughing maniacally as she walks out of this place with a backpack on that's like spilling cash as she steps out.
But looks like the bush had the WMDs.
All right, and that's the scene.
And yeah, shall we make that the scene? GG.
Cool.
The bus lands on everyone. You'll die instantly.
I'm fine.
Or
That's cool.
rather, several of you drop your kebabs in surprise.
I have combat.
Serendipitously.
You catch it with your
Yeah.
foot. Carry on eating
Yes.
it. With a Kobold Cafe. That's kind of a weird ending. I'm Luke, the GM. We had in reverse from the start order Terra.
Hey, I'm Sarah. I play Lily, who is still a hot mess.
Still a hot mess. We had James.
Hey, I'm James. I played Sigurd.
We had Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee. I play Audrey/Violet.
We had the Warrior.
Hey, I'm Z. I play Miles, the voice.
We had Jared.
I'm Jared, played Matthias Oberlin. He has a date with the dead dude.
You hope.
Nice.
You left a message. Please call me back, dead dude. We had Everoth, who is muted.
Who's muted?
Ah! I was Sephiroth, and I was playing for you today, Lucius, to the Lockhart.
I love Heart, Lockhart. We had Colin.
Hi, I'm Colin. I played Guy, and he really needs to start getting out more.
He's going to a party.
That's true.
That is true. As the help, presumably.
As the
As a
That's
guest?
the press. That's a step up.
As the press, right. Well, thanks very much for watching with the Kobold Cafe. We're just about everywhere at Kobold Cafe, Twitch, Twitter, Patreon, YouTube. We've got a website, which is thekoboldcafe.com. We'll be back on Thursday for Star Wars, which is, I'm guessing, getting more action-packed by the session, or...
final
It's actually the
episode.
finale.
It is the finale on Thursday. Wow. Let's tune in for
It will
that.
take place exclusively on board a interdictor cruiser, and that's all I figured out so far.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds fun.
Yeah.
Means a finale.
Hopefully we'll be back soon with Children of the Sky, but we don't know when that's going to be because I suck and Sundays have failed for me.
It'll happen when it happens.
It'll happen when it happens. Sadness. And then we'll be back on Friday with this, obviously, to see how the gang deals with Frame, as she is calling herself. Maybe that van were evil, you know? We'll see. Bye, everybody.
Could be a vigilante.
Oh, no.
Bye.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
let me cut you off for an
Bye,
actual,
everybody.
Bye.
an actual post-credits scene. Shall we?
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is the Oval Office. James Woods is there. He is not happy. Tara, please do James Woods' voice. I seem to recall you being amazing at this.
I can't do James Wood's voice.
It's Hades.
I can do his like car salesman, like Hades voice. I can't do regular James Woods.
That's regular James Woods, right? Never mind. He is not happy. He is talking to a man in a cape. It is a bright red, blue, and white cape. The American flag. Stood next to him is just a flag. A very old American flag. Not a modern one. I can't remember what it looks like exactly.
The one with a circle of stars.
Yeah, that one.
The original, yeah.
It's the original American flag, but it's all tattered, and it is floating as if it was a cape, but on nothing. And President Woods says, "This is a fucking disaster. I knew we should have sent someone who could actually do something." Mel Gibson's there, and he's like, "Crikey, mate, it would have been an act of war, some god awful ruse." And he's like, "Shut up, Mel. You're on this now, Victory. And you too, Glory." He looks across at the cape and the buff, greying-haired Superman type. And Mel Gibson's just like shaking his head and biting his nails, saying, "Crikey, governor." And that's us. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Again.